estar a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios indivisible, compartida para todos. Please repeat your Beecher Hill student affirmation after me. I am a knowledgeable Beecher Hill student.
I'm a knowledgeable Beecher Hill student.
I learn and grow in the Beecher way.
I learn and grow in the Beecher way.
I cooperate, focus, and complete all tasks.
I cooperate, focus, and complete all tasks.
I'm committed, present, and on time every day.
I'm committed, present, and on time every day.
I'm respectful to my fellow students and all adults in charge.
I'm respectful to my fellow students and all adults in charge.
I dress for success. I wear my uniform every day.
I dress for success. I wear my uniform every day.
I learn and grow in the Beecher way every day because
I learn and grow in the Beecher way every day because
my goal is to contribute to the school, my community, and the world.
My goal is to contribute to the school, my community, and the world. Our student profile for December is caring. The attitudes are empathy, tolerance, and appreciation. Time is running out. To order your yearbook for $18, if you wait, the yearbook price will increase to $25.
Get your Jingle Jam tickets for Thursday. Only $5 for the dance and food.
Please pause for a special announcement from Principal Jones.
Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to our last wonderful Wednesday for 2014. And we're going to read this morning another one of my favorites, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now, I'm sure you know this story, so you already know how caring this Grinch, this evil, mean Grinch, is going to become. And so, of course, if the Grinch can be caring, then anybody can be caring. Anybody can be sensitive towards the feelings and needs of others. What do your classmates need? What does your teacher need? Be caring and try to meet their needs, just like the Grinch. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Whos. Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise, noise. The one thing he hated, the noise. Then, Who's young and old would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which is something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he'd like least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. Do y'all know the Who song? I'm not going to sing it this morning, but I love the Who song. They'd sing and they'd sing and they sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? The Who's are caring, but the Grinch is not so caring. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and chuckled. What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like St. Nick. He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay snooze in their town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air, and the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed. And he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Is he really going to take their Christmas? Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue where the little Who stockings are hung in a row. These stockings are the first thing to go. He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Then he slithered, he slunk with a smile most unpleasant. Around the whole room he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash, while that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo. Didn't sound like that. Like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. While my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus, lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for the fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, that old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1:15 dawn, and the Who's still abed. All the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimmings, and trappings. "3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top and dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's. He was grinchiously humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, and I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will all hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo." "That's a noise," grinned the Grinch, "that I simply must hear." So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound was merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook when he saw what a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. It's not about all those things. It's about caring for each other. They singing the Who song. Does anybody know the Who song? And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food and the feast. And he himself even carved the roast beast. And so, as we're in this holiday season, whether or not you celebrate Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, or you don't really celebrate anything at all, you just enjoy the holiday season, I want you to have a happy one, and I want you to care for your family and your friends and give thanks for all that you have and share with somebody else and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday and a Happy New Year.
Word of the day, investigate, meaning to explore and search for an answer. Investigate. Miss Long wanted her students to investigate to find the answer to the science question. Investigate. 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 Joke of the day! Hey, Sinai, what kind of cars do hound dogs drive? I don't know. What, Zarya? Hound dogs! This concludes our morning announcements. Have a wonderful week.